Hey Wilder folks, Alicia here. This week's video is all about building mileage slowly and creative ways to do it with long run progressions. Now, if you've been running for a little while, you know that a slow mileage build is a key to a successful season. It takes a long time for your muscles to adapt, but even more so for your tendons and ligaments to adapt to more running. Increasing mileage too quickly is one of the main reasons that runners suffer injuries. Now, at the end of today, I'm going to talk about how to measure running volume so that you know if you're building it up slow enough that it's healthy. But first, I'm going to talk about 5 creative ways to do long runs, because just heading out for a monotonous 20K or 30K or 40K run can get a little boring. So it's fun to spice it up. And we are going to do this while I warm up for my upper body workout because I got a lot of stuff happening today. So we're going to jump right into it. The first way to spice up your long run is to split it up and do part of it one evening and the next part the next day. So this is called an evening morning split. So let's say your long run for the week needs to be 25K. You could do a hard 10K on Friday night and then a zone to 15K on Saturday morning. I find that these mimic longer distance runs because you are not recovered from your night run before you start your morning run. So a 25K can actually feel similar to like a 35 by the end of it. So it is phenomenal if you're short on time, but you want to feel what it's like to have a lot of time on legs and to run on tired legs. Another similar way to do this that I really like is to do a quad burnout and then a run. So this one's really important if you're training for a course that has a lot of hills, but you don't have hills near you. What I will do is do a workout that's really fatiguing on my quads, so say front squats, and then go into a long, slow distance run. So that could be 5 sets of 10 front squats, and then going and doing your 15K or whatever distance you're doing for that day. Simulating tired quads at the end of a run, but I would keep that run to be a shorter distance. It's not going to be easy on you. Hey guys, my mics died and I had to charge them for a little bit, but it looks like we are back in service. So I'm going to tell you about the third option for making your long run more exciting, and that is backyard ultra style long runs. What does that mean? It's where you break down your mileage into a very small run that you do every hour on the hour until you complete the miles that you want to. So I used this year to do my first long day of the year. I broke a 30K into 10 3K segments, and I did them every hour on the top of the hour. Now this does a couple things. First, it feels way harder than just doing that distance back to back because you have time, but not enough time to recover fully from the runs you've done. So it is really good if you're training to be on your feet for a really long day, but you aren't ready yet with your connective tissue for a really big distance. The cons is you do need 10 hours in a row to go and run this distance, and near the end of it, you're not being as productive in between your runs as you are at the beginning. So like this year after my first 3K, I just went back to work. I felt invigorated and excited. After my 9th 3K, I think I just watched YouTube videos until the next hour came up and I could go for my last run of the day. But the other plus side is you can also try out things that you wouldn't be able to if you were going on a really long distance run. So maybe you've got a new piece of equipment, a new running backpack, a new running belt, and you want to see what it's like for chafing. This every hour on the hour repeater is a phenomenal way to do that. It's also really good for testing nutrition because over those 10 hours, you're going to have to eat. So if you're not sure how your stomach's going to tolerate something, you can try eating it and then seeing how your stomach feels. This year when I did it, I still kept myself really, really, really slow. Like I made myself stay in zone 2 all day. There's the temptation to go harder because you're only going for 3 kilometers. So I think it's really good at teaching pacing and patience as well. And you can break this up into any combination that you want to. Maybe you do 5K an hour for 5 hours to get yourself to 25K, or maybe you do 3 kilometers an hour for 20 hours to get you to a 60K. It starts being this really creative way to work on a bunch of different aspects of your fitness. Anyways, I really like that one. But option number 4 is also really good, especially if you are training for an ultra that has a lot of hills, and that is the run plus hike option. So if you are going out for a hike with friends and family, you know it's going to be at more of a casual pace. You could do a really hard, short threshold, so zone 3-4 effort before that hike. That's going to give you tired legs and depleted energy stores going into a long, slow effort. And that's really good at building distance. So I'll often do this if I've got a hike planned with friends, but I know it's going to be pretty chill. I will do a really hard 3K or 5K or 10K before that. And that can help me get that hard work in, work on continuing to go even when my energy stores are depleted and I am tired. The caveat about this one is make sure you're not so exhausted that you can't properly complete the hike. You don't want to be putting yourself into an unsafe situation. Set a bench, then we'll do the last one. And then I get to explain again about volume. Okay, so option number 5 for a fun way to do a mileage build is to put mini goals within your long runs. This is going to help you train specifically for the event that you are training for, and it's going to make the time pass so much faster when you're out for your run. So instead of just saying, I have to do a half marathon today, think of it instead as I'm going to do a 5-kilometer warm-up, a 10K tempo effort, so a harder 10K, and then I'm gonna do a long cool down after. And just by breaking it into 3 like that, I find it's a really good mental trick to focus on what you're doing in the moment instead of just thinking, oh my gosh, I've gone 1 kilometer, that means I have 20 and a half left to go. Because trust me, the miles feel way longer when you're focused on every single step and counting down one by one. So there's a couple things you can do here. You could do repeated 5K efforts. You could do one 10K effort halfway through. You can customize this format to your goals. So I know I'm talking a lot about really hilly courses. Let's say you have a course that has a lot of downhill. You could pick the section of your long run that day that has downhill, and you could run that as a tempo to get yourself used to downhill running quickly. It's all about thinking about what is my event, how can I train the different aspects of that leading up to it. I have found personally that training for trail running races, this has been a lot more, I've been able to be more creative with it because you're dealing with things that aren't as standardized. Like a 50K, one 50K could take you 5 hours, another 50K could take you 10 hours just because of what the terrain is like and the course is like. So you're able to be a lot more creative with what you're doing to build your mileage to get you ready for those events. And what you're going to do for a 5-hour 50K on the trails is going to be a lot different training wise than what you're going to do for the really hilly one. Anyways, now that we've talked about all those options, let's talk about how to actually measure volume. Now, this can be used for any activity. It can be used for climbing or mountain biking or trail running. It's a little bit different than just calculating mileage like most people do for running itself, because when it comes to activities in outdoor environments, a lot of times there's a lot more variables happening. It's not just how far you ran, but it's how technical the trail was and how much elevation there was and how long you were on your feet, etc., etc., etc. So the way to simplify all of it that I have found incredibly effective for my clients is to simply look at the time on feet multiplied by difficulty, so rated 1 to 10, and that'll give you a volume number, and you make sure that you're not increasing that by more than 10%, even during your mileage build throughout the year. So I hope you use these 5 creative long run ideas to help you build up your mileage over time, and I would love to hear if you have any really cool formats that you use for your long runs. If you pop them in the comments below, maybe I'll give them a try and see how it goes. All right, I hope you guys have a wilder week. I'm gonna finish my upper body workout and we will talk to you soon.